Welcome back under the lights at Avondale, Arizona. The Phoenix International Raceway still under a red flag condition as they continue to clean up the racetrack. The vacuum has now been brought out to pick up some of the speed zorb that's been put down to try to get rid of the fluid that was laid down on the racetrack. Again, a 4-car incident. The most recent problem here at Phoenix. Again, 7 cautions already.
I hope we can recycle that speed zorb. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to the store and get some more.
Coming up immediately following this K&N Pro Series West race, it's Sprint Cup qualifying right here in Phoenix. That took place earlier today. I don't want to give up the results from that if you hadn't seen it already. Phil, you're ready. I can tell.
I won't.
A very unlikely pole winner was able to win the pole, but not break the track record here.
Well, again, because of the weather conditions, we'd slow down a 3/4 of a second over what the cars were able to run yesterday. I think the track record was somewhere around a 26:20, and we actually ran a 25:50 in practice yesterday. But because of the warmer conditions with the sun out, we weren't able to beat that track record.
And look at all the speed zorb on the racetrack. Bob Dillner.
Dylan Presnell, 16 years old, collected in that incident. What did you see? What happened in turn number 1?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I didn't really see it. I just, had my spotter. He was telling me that, the 29 car just ran way down in there and wrecked, wrecked about 3 or 4 of us. So, it's unfortunate. I hate it for AmericanMountainRentals.com, Toyota. We were having a pretty decent run, and, we had just came in, took in our 4 tires. I feel like we were going to have a pretty good car. So just hate it for AmericanMountainRentals.com, but just, I don't know really what happened. So,
is it something that you saw building over the last lap or 2 prior to that?
I mean, it kind of got a little crowded there the lap before. We went like 3 wide through there the previous lap, and I think it might have been building something there. I don't know what happened, if he got mad and hit somebody or if he just ran in too hard and hit him. So I'm not really sure.
Dylan Presnell, a graduate of the Legends Car ranks.
29 of Brendan Newberry was checked and released from the infield care center.
Dylan made 6 starts this year in the East Series with 4 top 10 finishes. Did a nice job for X-Team Racing.
So again, still a red flag condition as they try to clean up the racing surface before we go back to green with just 48 laps remaining in this one. Again, a scheduled 125 lap race. And right now, probably the most laps being turned is the cleanup crew here. We'll be back with more here on Speed. There are 2 steering wheels on this vacuum truck that's coming off of the racetrack now. Welcome back to the Casino Arizona 125. I believe he's had enough. They've got the track cleared off.
Here, the jet dryers out there as well. They're going to try to blow what's left of the speed zorb off the racetrack.
Brendan Newberry in the 29 involved in this incident. And we'll hear from him. He's with Bob.
Definitely some words back and forth between some of the drivers and Brendan Newberry there in turn number 1. The incident down there, from your viewpoint, what happened?
Well, I mean, first off, I have to thank everybody from NTS Motorsports. They gave me a good car. We were struggling a little bit early on until the break, and our car was finally starting to come alive here on the second half. But, yeah, I mean, Luis was kind of checked up on the front stretch there, and I got into him once, and I checked up about as far as I thought I could, and and I guess, I mean, it was completely my fault. I mean, he backed up, and I was there, and I got into him, and I'm sorry to everyone on the number 6 crew of Luis Martinez and also number 23 of Spencer Gallagher. I mean, those guys were just a victim of circumstance. I mean, they were both upset, and I mean, tempers were flaring. I didn't have the best night, and obviously they weren't either because we were all in the back there. But like I say, it was my fault. I apologize to both those crews. I hate it for them. I hate it for ours. I mean, our 29 car was starting to come alive. Last race of the year, especially in the K&N Pro Series, everyone wants to run really good, especially here at Phoenix with the new pavement. It was a whole lot of fun to run on, but we're running this race in memory of a U.S. Marine. So it was just a race where we really wanted to do good, and support our Marine and everyone else in the military for Veterans Day. But like I said, it was my fault. I apologize. I just once I got down to it, I was pretty well stuck where I was. So like I said, I apologize to Spencer and Luis and my crew as well. We didn't want to do that, but Bob, I appreciate everything and everything that came in and everyone's done for this series. So hopefully we can come back here and run some next year.
Tough break for Brendan Newberry. Remember, he was the pole sitter here in the first race of the season here at Phoenix.
Thanks, Bob. In the background, you heard the engines firing back up and them rolling back around this racetrack. The yellow light has come back on and yellow flag goes in the air. So the red flag pulled back in, and they'll make a lap or two to check the surface, and we'll get back to racing. Again, only 47 laps remaining in this one. Alex Bowman out in front of Derek Thorne, Ryan Blaney, David Mayhew, and Eric Holmes are your top 5.
Chase Elliott now runs in the 6th spot. Daniel Suarez 7th. Chad Bowden 8th. DJ Kennington has moved up to the 9th spot. DJ, a Canadian Series champion last year. I think 2nd this year in the points in the Canadian Tire Series of NASCAR in Canada.
46 laps to go. The lights will go off of the pace car. They'll go 2 by 2. David Mayhew makes his way onto pit road.
It's going to be very difficult and challenging to give up this track position, but he made a little contact earlier when Daniel Suarez had a problem. See, they're going to try to beat that fender out a little bit, make sure he right front tire clears. You do not want to blow a right front tire here. Also, they made a chassis adjustment as well. Bruce Cook comes over from KHI in the Camping World Truck Series to help David Mayhew this weekend. A lot of experience there and had a great car running up in the top 3 or 4. Going to lose all the track position now, though, with those adjustments.
So strong has the 25 been this entire evening. Alex Bowman up in front of the field. To his outside, it's Greg Pursley in the 26. Those two have battled for the top spot. 3 drivers have been out front today: Pursley, Bowman, and Suarez. Pursley has led the most laps at 52 laps led. Bowman continuing to try to add to his laps led total. He is at 20 currently.
Just keep an eye on Suarez to make sure he doesn't have another problem on this restart. He's back inside row number 4 in that white car.
Coming out turn 4. Green flag goes back in the air.
Looks like everybody gets up to speed, and Alex Bowman has now Greg Pursley driving it hard to the outside.
Going through the speed zorb. They slide up, make a little contact as they go through 1 and 2. Coming out of 2 and through the dog leg. Still side by side. Pursley trying to take the advantage away from Alex Bowman.
Ryan Blaney's right there. He's going to go by them both. Contact into the wall.
Greg Pursley hard into the outside wall in 3 and 4. And with that, Pursley will not be able to continue, and the yellow flag will come out once again. The two were side by side and made contact in 1 and 2. They did the exact same thing in 3 and 4, and that sent Pursley into the wall.
And that allowed Ryan Blaney to drive by on the inside while they were making contact to take over this lead. What a tough break for Greg Pursley, though. But you still can't take anything away from the season he's had here. And I know he wanted to finish this thing off right. He told me this morning he wanted to get that win, get that 7th win. Here they are driving down into turn number 3. You see the 25 of Bowman got loose. He had to chase his car up the hill. When he did, he made contact with Greg. Greg got out of the groove there and just slid right into the outside wall. There's a contact. Nowhere for Greg to go.
You talked about Ryan Blaney taking advantage of that situation in the 11. He was able to drive by on the inside while those two drifted up the racetrack. So Blaney takes over the top spot. Derek Thorne was able to move up into the 3rd position. Alex Bowman was able to hold on to 2nd. You see Pursley driving into the infield now, and that number 26 still the champion. You can't take that away from him. He's already earned enough points to clinch the championship in 13 races, and this, the 14th race, was hoping to get back to victory lane, but it doesn't look as that's going to happen this evening.
Certainly wasn't intentional on Alex Bowman's part, but unfortunately he got in there and they were racing really hard. Alex got a little bit loose, had to use some more racetrack up, and when he did, he made contact with Greg and knocked him right out of the groove into the slick stuff and into the outside wall he went.
You know, Phil, this championship really got kick-started at the end of last season when Greg Pursley was able to win 2 of the last 3 races, and then came on strong. 6 wins this season to really dominate the series.
He had 1 engine failure at Portland, and he finished back on the 26th spot. Otherwise, his worst finish of the entire season was 4th.